Doesn't make sense. This is a story experienced by a male friend of mine, hereafter called A. One day, I got a call from a senior from his university saying, "I'm eating right now, so come join us." When I arrived at the designated restaurant, besides his senior, there was a woman he didn't know. Let's call her Biko. Apparently Biko was either a friend or acquaintance of his senior. She was dressed in a flashy, Gyara-style outfit, and her makeup was so thick that she still couldn't hide how unfortunately unattractive she was underneath. I said she looked kind of like Hamada Brittany. I wasn't really interested in her, so he didn't ask too many questions. Nothing in particular happened that day. They finished eating and soon called it a night. The next day, Monday, while he was riding the commuter train, he got a call from an unknown number. Because he was on the train, he couldn't answer. During the roughly 50-minute ride, that same number called him about every 3 minutes. The calls were so persistent that he started to wonder if something had happened to someone in his family, so as soon as he got off the train he called back. Turns out it was Biko on the other end. A, thinking something might have happened to his senior, asked, "What's wrong? Did something happen?" But Biko just started chattering away about random stuff, saying, "Nah, not really. It's just that the food we had yesterday was so good," and so on. I got irritated, thinking, who the hell calls someone dozens of times without any real reason? And on a weekday morning no less? He curtly said, "Sorry, I have work, gotta go," and hung up on her. Incidentally, A had never given his contact information to Biko, so his senior must have given it to her without asking him. From that day on, Biko began bombarding him with calls. From morning till night, calls would come every 3 to 10 minutes. At first, for the first 2 or 3 times, I would answer because he thought maybe something serious had happened. But every time he picked up, it would just be more pointless small talk from Biko. I got so frustrated he considered yelling at her, but since she was a friend of his senior, he bit his tongue and blocked her number. 1 week after he blocked her, in the middle of the night, he started getting calls from a payphone. He had never gotten calls from a payphone before, so his instinct told him right away it was Biko. Sure enough, the phone rang in about 3-minute intervals. Even if he blocked that payphone's number, she'd likely just call from another payphone, so he turned his phone off. Then he decided to get a second phone. He wanted to cancel the first one right away, but he was under a 2-year contract, so he didn't want to pay the penalty fee. About half a year later. By that time, A had almost forgotten about Biko's constant calls. One day, on a whim, he decided to turn on the old phone he'd left dormant. Immediately after the phone powered on, there was an incoming call from Biko. A was shocked, but more than that, he was furious. He picked up, ready to yell at her. But despite leaving calls in his call log for 6 whole months, Biko talked to him as if they had just seen each other yesterday. "Wow, it was hot today, right? My air conditioner's broken, can you believe that?" Just more casual small talk. A had been prepared for some kind of grudge-laden complaint along the lines of "Why wouldn't you pick up my calls?" But he was so thrown off by her normal attitude that he lost his chance to blow up at her. Then Biko said, "Hey, wanna go to 20 right now? I'll treat you." 20 was a famous but expensive yakiniku place in their hometown. I loved yakiniku, and he was broke before payday, and being kind of a fool, he said yes without much thought. At the time, he justified it to himself by thinking, if she tries something weird, I'll just yell at her then. If she confesses her feelings, I'll turn her down. I can ask her to stop calling me so much. However, during the meal, Biko didn't confess at all, nor did she show any sign of romantic interest in A. He figured he could at least refuse her if she made a move on him, but nothing happened. And so, dinner ended just like that. On the way back from the yakiniku place, Biko said she needed to use the restroom. The walk from the restaurant to the station was long, but A's apartment was very close by. I told her, "Why don't you grab a taxi?" But Biko said, "I only have enough for the train. I treated you to that yakiniku, so." Having just had a free meal courtesy of Biko, I felt awkward about refusing, so he reluctantly took her back to his apartment. He made her promise, go use the toilet and then leave right away. As soon as they arrived, Biko rushed into the bathroom. A, half expecting some kind of reverse rape scenario, was trembling in fear. But she really did have to go, apparently, because no sooner had she gone in than he heard these explosive noises, bup bup bup. Brrrrrrrrr. Is she taking a dump? In a guy's place when we barely even know each other? A was totally freaked out. After a while, Biko came out of the bathroom. She looked around the room, saying stuff like, "Hey, This place is pretty spacious. Oh, that coat is cute, all while wandering around and touching things without permission. A, who was already drained, told her she should leave. Surprisingly, she went, "Okay, see ya," and walked out without a fuss. A, feeling worn out, stepped into the bathroom, and the sight before his eyes left him speechless. Something brown, obviously poop, was splattered on the walls. A described it as looking like a blood-spattering scene from Kill Bill. How in the world does someone get crap all over the place like this? A was on the verge of tears as he cleaned it up. He was on his hands and knees scrubbing when he realized that even the backside of the water tank was smeared. It was so bad that he couldn't help but think she had deliberately spread it around. By the time he finished cleaning, morning was breaking. He decided to take a shower, but when he went to put on his coat to head out, he noticed a weird smell. He looked at the back of his coat, and there was poop smeared all over it as well. And that is the story my friend A told me. It was hilarious from my perspective, but as for A himself, he was completely terrified and kept saying, "I have no idea what that was all about." A little follow-up: from that day on, Biko stopped calling altogether. When A confronted his senior, demanding, "Who was that woman? Why did you give her my number without asking me?" the senior just brushed it off with, "Huh? Really?" and didn't give him any answers. So in the end, they never found out who that woman really was or what her intentions were. A has been pretty much traumatized by women ever since. Dash 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 dash.